Well, Merry Christmas, everyone, on this most unusual season of Christmas. I'm a little bit surprised that it's here and barely ready, but it's okay. God has had us in a season of discernment and growing. And it's that season where we celebrate that little baby who came to redeem every one of us, not just a couple of us, but every single human being on the planet gets to be redeemed because of what a little baby did. A prince became a pauper, gave up all his wealth to do what his father wanted, to do the right thing by humanity, to pay the ultimate sacrifice. I want to read to you today from my dad's Bible. And in this Bible, I love to read what my father felt was important, and it's so interesting because actually it's Luke 1 verse 80, and it says, "And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, and was in the desert until the day of his showing unto Israel." This is speaking about John the Baptist. And John the Baptist was a pivotal feature of the story of Jesus. But I love this part where it says he was kept in the desert until the day of his showing unto Israel. Do you ever feel like you're in a desert? Sometimes God hides you in the desert until it's time for your role in the story, in the greatest story of all. John the Baptist was hidden. He was kept in the desert until it was his time. I want to only share with you briefly today something from this great devotional. Charles Swindoll has been someone actually that's very important to me. When I was a young person, I needed some counsel and some guidance, and I needed to make some very big decisions. And Insight for Living was on the radio, and he spoke a message that was life-changing. I put it in my book, actually. My book is Relentless Redemption, and it's the story of much failure and much redemption. And it's all about that child who came to bring us forgiveness. Charles Swindoll gave us this message today, December 24th, 2024. And it's a bit of an unusual way of looking at the Christmas story. And I got it from my dear friend Cheryl. She's also on my board. And it says this: before you read again on the birth of Jesus, it might be best for you to lay it aside and start from scratch. The Christmas story has been so sanitized and romanticized over the centuries that even Hollywood, as jaded a culture as can be found anywhere, fails to capture the gritty pathos that surround Jesus' arrival. Truth be told, even some churches annually idealize the birth of our Savior, yet it was anything but ideal. Without question, 6 BC was a lousy time to live in Judea. Herod the Great had seized the throne of Israel through bloody intrigue and with political support from Rome. Then, once in power, he guarded his stolen title, King of the Jews. So ruthlessly, he even put his own sons to death. His own sons. When any of them posed a significant political threat. Macrobius, a 5th century writer, recorded when Caesar Augustus heard that Herod, king of the Jews, had ordered boys in Syria under the age of 2 years to be put to death, and that the king's son was among those killed, he said, "I'd rather be Herod's pig than Herod's son." Caesar's comment illustrated the sad irony of Israel's condition. Herod, though not really Jewish, pretended to be a pious religious Jew by eliminating pork from his diet, but he indulged an insatiable appetite for power. He built a magnificent temple for the God of Israel, an architectural wonder in its day, and gave its administration to one corrupt high priest after another. He taxed Jews through the temple in keeping with Old Testament law, and then he used the proceeds to break the first commandment, building cities and temples in honor of the emperor and his pantheon of Roman deities. The larger Roman Empire, bounded on the west by the Atlantic, on the east by the Euphrates, on the north by the Rhine and Danube, and on the south by the Sahara Desert, was as vast as it was vicious. Political intrigue, racial tension, increased immorality, and enormous military might dominated everyone's attention and conversation. Judea existed under the crush of Rome's heavy boot. It was a time of unprecedented economic and political advancement for the rich, and a time of horrific oppression for everyone else. By the 1st century BC, a dark cloud had settled over Israel, blocking any ray of hope. The first Christmas, all eyes were on Augustus, the cynical Caesar who demanded a census to determine a measurement for increasing taxes even further. At that time, who was interested in a young couple making an 80-mile trip south from Nazareth? What could possibly be important, more important even, than Caesar's decisions in Rome, or his puppet Herod's edicts in Judea? Who cared about a Jewish baby born in Bethlehem's barn? God did. And it truly is the only thing that matters at this time of year and all year long. That incredible gift that God gave us, the redemption, that Jesus was born so that he could die. Of all things that we could celebrate at this time, it is that precious birth. And it's there for every one of us. For all the characters in the Daystar story, for all the characters in all of the prominent places that we know are abounding in perhaps corruption, perhaps cover-up, perhaps pain, and even shame. That baby, he came for one reason, so that all the pain and all the shame would be covered by what he did on the cross 33 years later. A price that was paid that makes me free today. It makes you free. And if any of you have ever been afraid that there's too much sin and God can't use you, it's a lie. The devil has been telling lies for centuries, generations, generational curses put on our families. But it's all a lie. The enemy is a murderer from the beginning. But when Jesus was born, it thundered through the heavens. And he came here so that we could be free. No matter how bad the story is today, if we love God, if we honor him, if we humble ourselves before the King, if we walk in humility, he is the one who sets every one of us free. In this biblical epic tale, in modern day times, God is doing a miracle even today by reminding us of how great he is. He is our fear, and he is our dread. I leave you today with the tremendous story, and this I will read to you out of my daughter's Bible. I'm preparing a Bible for my daughter to have when I'm long gone. Just as I have cherished my father's Bible, I pray that she will cherish this. The incredible story of how Jesus came. And remember the words of Mary, that she was willing to do the hard thing, to have that precious child, when it didn't seem possible, the way that the angel shared it with her. She said, "Be it unto me as you desire." And I'm going to read to you from Luke 2, verse 8. "And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks by night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. Can you imagine how scary that was? All of a sudden, you're out in the dark just minding your own business, and God shows up into the middle of your situation. Perhaps in your desert where you've been hidden for many years, and you wonder, when is my time to be a part of the great story of God? Perhaps it's soon. So the angels are out there and they're minding their own business and just watching the sheep, and the angels show up, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in clothes, lying in a manger." Suddenly, a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to those on whom his favor rests." And this is the same story he has for us. His peace on those whom his favor rests. And who receives the favor of the Lord? Those who walk rightly, those who act justly, those who honor his greatness, those who humble themselves, those who are broken, those who love the fear of the Lord and walk in it. They will have great peace and great joy. I bid you a fond farewell in this season. I think I'll take tomorrow off, but I'll probably be back sooner than I'd like to. I think that God is up to something huge, a paradigm shift, a turning of the tables at this special season, where he's exposing more than we've ever seen him expose. And it's awesome. And I welcome it. I welcome God's presentation of his justice and his love and the balance thereof to humanity at this hour. And I pray that his mercy will be great, but his justice is unstoppable. So at this Christmas, I want to say a very special Merry Christmas to Jonathan and Susie Lamb. I want to let you know that God is with you, even as you are experiencing your own desert perhaps, that sometimes God hides us until just the right time. Merry Christmas, everyone. God bless you all. You know, it's not easy to deliver the truth of what our sick world is doing, but for some of us, we feel that we have no choice. Because if we are silent about these abominable things, then we are letting evil go unchecked, and we cannot do that. For those of you wonderful people who are writing me and are sharing your encouragement, I am deeply grateful. Thank you for all the letters that you've been sending. Thank you for the donations and the support. I found out that in order to speak the truth, you have to become very, very strong. If you would go to my website at www.laura-lynn.tv, you'll find all of the ways that you can contact me. Remember, my friends, all is well. All is well. Thanks for joining me.